There was a showdown downtown at the OK Corral. A saint of God against the demons of hell. This story may be one like you've heard before, where Satan has folks bound and won't let them go.
Not easy, that is.
Now they were having a revival in this rowdy old town with the saints praying mightily for God's power to come down. They lived the life and kept interceding. Soon the whole town came to believing.
Well, almost.
The truth about Jesus, God's only Son. He came to save sinners. Yes, he loves everyone. The truth was more than the sinners could withstand. So they cried out for salvation.
All but this one man.
Yes, you see, Satan had him bound to have his own way. He didn't like church. He'd rather cuss than pray. I like what I'm doing, he'd sneeringly say.
And ain't nobody gonna stop me. No how, no way.
The saints were just as determined too. And they loved that old sinner, and this was really hard to do. He wished you evil when you wished him well. He acted like he was a demon from hell.
But the saints could tell he was a man needing deliverance.
God delights when his people love, believe, and pray. It causes demons to tremble and move out of their way. They prayed, "Oh Lord, change that hard heart." And the job seemed a tough one right from the start.
But they kept on a-praying.
Lord, send a person. Yes, choose such a one whose spirit and courage won't be outdone. Let him be equipped from his head to his boots with the gospel of peace and a love for the truth.
And God heard their cry.
So it happened one day when old Harz came to town, looking at ladies and running church people down, that a scrappy little lad about the age of 11, looking in old Harz's face, said,
"Mister, you want to go to heaven?"
Heaven? Where's that, boy? Don't tell me no lie. I can believe if I see it with my own natural eye. And what do you know? You ain't but a tad. Looky here, boy. I think you've been had.
Now the showdown was on, with Satan firing his best, but the saint of 11 was standing his test.
The lad had Jesus rooted well in his life. He was gentle, he was loving, and his spirit contrite.
And he was what God could use.
He was equipped well, like Ephesians 6:10-17, and he never bat an eye when old Harz looked mean. He pulled out his weapons and shot forth such words that the birds stopped chirping and the breeze ceased to stir.
I've listened to this church talk long enough. I come to town to strut my stuff. To listen this long, I must be touched in the head.
While Satan kept nudging him, "Go get a drink instead."
Well, the battle was raging in the middle of that town, with the saint of 11 aiming to put old Satan down.
Under his feet, where he belonged.
If you'd been a man about my size, I'd have gunned you down with just my eyes. I'd have made you crawl on your hands and knees, crying for pardon, for stopping me and pretty please. What is this you're saying now? I'll listen a bit longer, won't change me no how.
The lad was firing John 3:16 about God sending his son, and first chapter of Matthew verse 21. He followed it up with Romans 6:23 about the wages of sin and what it takes to be free.
In old Harz's eyes, tears began to show. He felt a bit strange that he did know. His thoughts traveled back to himself as a child. when his mind was clean and his temperament mild. What had happened to cause such a change? How in his heart had evil begun to reign?
I just can't be crying. What would folks think? Must be something in my eye causing me to blink.
But the fire of God's Spirit was burning around, with the hardness of that heart melting down.
Satan was plenty scared and made ready to flee, screaming as he left, "This town is too hot for me."
I give up. No more.
He didn't even care if the whole town was standing right there.
Peace with Jesus is what I really need. And I'm asking now for forgiveness, please. I've gone my own way much too long. I need something better to lean upon.
Now the tears in his eyes flowed without shame. The angels rejoiced. The saint had captured his man.
And what's more, Harz had a new name, God's child.
There's a moral to this story we'd like to pass along. Mountains are moved when faith is strong. Now, one other point on the salvation plan: we can do the believing, but God choose the man.
Or person, that is.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.